Hello guys, welcome back to this next question. It's about anagrams. So just do a research about what are anagrams and just go through some Wikipedia pages and all. Just I don't want to explain what an anagram is and all. In these pages then you'll get to know what is an anagram. So how to solve it actually. So let's take string 1 is let us take Prakash. And let's take string 2 as Akash. Now, how to tell that whether these two strings are anagrams or not? Okay, one way is we can sort them. Like we can sort the string in Python using the inbuilt function known as sorted. Just use sorted of this one and sorted of S2. Sorted of S1 really means it will convert the S1 into S1 A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S. I hope this is the correct alphabetical order. Yeah. So it converts the string into alphabetically ordered string. So that's what sorted do. So converting the string to we get by applying this function A K no this first H K and S. On Prakash contains K, right? Yeah, just to forgot that. Okay, so now we can linearly search the array whose length is smaller than the another array and we can get the elements. Okay, so the length of this array is 5 and length of this array is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, let me write it on top. I don't think you can see. Right? This length is 5 and S1 length is 7. So it is clearly known to us that S2's length is less than S1's length. So we can perform a linear search operation in S1 while going through S2. So how can we do that? We know the elements, right? This is S1 and this is S2. Okay, now let me loop through S1 and S2. Let's just basically a for loop. Let me take for character in S2. Okay. If character in S1, then continue. Else return not anagram or whatever the return statement it will be. After this return, if all the characters match from S1 into S2, then I'll just return yes, those both are anagrams. Okay, now. But this is a solution actually, but there's an edge case over here. What if this Prakash has only one A in it and Akash had both A? This algorithm still would work only for 1 year in S2 and 2 years in 2 years in S2 and 1 year in S1. But that's not the case, right? Now those are not anagrams actually. So what to do? Once we hit that element, like once we hit the required element being present in both S1 and S2 array, we will just pop that element off from the array. Okay, if char in S1, instead of continue statement, let me remove the character from S1. There's no need of removing character from S2 as S2 is iterating over here. We won't get to the back point as we are using a for loop, because there is no need of counter in for loop, or there's a need of counter in for loop, but it is initialized basically automatically. Okay, now if character in S1, then I want to pop that element from S2. Okay, S2 dot pop S2 dot index of that character. Got it right? I want to pop that element from S2 and I don't know the position of that element. That's why what I'm using is S2 dot pop what? S2 dot index. This will give me the index of the character. So this whole thing will give me the position of the character in, sorry, this is S1 not S2, position in S1. So after we find both characters equal, then we'll pop that character from the array S1. So if this cycle continues and if not even one time this else gets executed, then those two are anagrams. This is one part of the solution. There is much more efficient way of calculating it using hash maps. I want to check whether these given two strings are anagrams or not. Okay, the anagrams lengths might be equal or may not be equal. So I am taking here the case of different length strings. The case of same length strings are way too easier to deal rather than the strings of different lengths. Okay, we'll get to this part. Okay, here the given two strings are Prakash and Akash. Okay, so I have approached this solution in the whiteboard part of this video. Just go through it once and just come back to this. We'll just sort both those strings. We can use this function, inbuilt function known as sorted. This will convert the whole string into alphabetically ordered list. Okay, so we'll just sort those both two strings. We'll just call the function check, passing long and short. Here long is if length of the first string is greater than length of second string, then obviously the first length will be longer and the second string will be the shorter string, or else vice versa. Okay, coming to this solution, coming to this definition, we'll just pass long and short over here as the arguments to this function. So as I explained in the whiteboard, for each and every character in the shorter string, if that character is present in the longer string, then I want to pop out that character from the longer string in order to avoid duplicates. So here initially the character will be A. For character in short, here character means A. If A in long, yes, A is present in long. Here long is A and A1 and it is Prakash. Yes, A is present in Prakash. Then long dot pop, long dot index of char. You know that dot index will give us the index of that character in that array, right? So I'll just pop that character. I have explained the solution in the whiteboard. You can just check it there. If in any case, if both those characters doesn't match or that character is not in the longer string, then just print not, they are not anagrams and just return from the function. That's what we do, right? If we didn't hit any kind of breaks, here break means the return statement, in any way in this definition or in this function, then I just want to print anagrams. Let me check if this works or not. Okay, here these strings are Prakash and Akash. Obviously it will work because Prakash and Akash both are anagrams. If I execute this, I'll get the output as anagrams. Yes, see, you can write. Yeah, those two are anagrams. what if I made a change in the second string? Now I is present in A and A2 and I is not present in H, right? Then obviously these two won't be anagrams anymore, and I'll just execute it. Yep, those two are not anagrams. This is how this solution works. Okay, now coming back to the more efficient approach of dealing with this question is, you know about audience, right? Or of a character in Python gives the ASCII value of the character. Here we have a better case of doing it because all of these characters are either uppercase or lowercase, but at the same time. Like if all these characters are uppercase, these all characters are also uppercase. So there's no need of like calculating the audience of lowercase alphabets. So what we can do from that? What can we get from that? Let's just create a temporary array. Okay, we know that audience of A, I don't know the value, I think it might be around some 67. I don't know the ASCII value of A. Let it be. Okay, but we will take this as a starting point, and ordinance of any other, let's take X, will be some value, right? The computer can give the value, but we need to make the 67 as 0 because we have to store it in an array. So ordinance of X will literally be ordinance of X minus start. Start is the ordinance value of A actually, but it's not 67. I don't know the real number. Okay, but it will be the same for all the computers around there in the world. Okay, so by doing this, we literally create a temporary array and we'll just push the elements onto the array. Let me create a temporary array T. Let me initialize its values temporarily with 0, and the length of the array will be 26 because there are 26 alphabets in English. That's simple. Okay, every time I hit a character either in S1 or in S2, or else we'll get the length of this length of those two strings early in the question itself, right? We'll get the hash map of the longest array. Here the longest array is S1. So we will take S1's hash map, okay, for character in S1. Okay, for character in S1. So initially the character will be pointing to T, pointing to P. Okay. Then I have named this array as T. Okay. I want to increment the value of that position in the T array by 1. T of ordinance of that character minus ordinance of A plus equal to 1. That will literally give, T has 26 elements, right? Up to some 26 elements. This is representing A, B, C, D, and this is Y, Z. I'll take an example of this A. Once the pointer gets to A, T will, here T is ordinance of A minus ordinance of A gives me 0. T of 0 is this element, right? T of 0 plus equal to 1. 0 plus equal to 1 means it's 1. It's just shorthand operator. It's also known as T of ordinance of character minus ordinance of A is equal to T of ordinance of character minus ordinance of A plus 1. I have shown you in the previous video about shorthand operators. I'll increment this value by 1. And even when I get to this A also, this value will be equal to 0. And I have 1 over here. I'll increment it again. And we can 2. Okay. So how many times our character may come in the array? I'll just increment its value in this temporary array. So this is how we solve that question. I'll just try to code this in the next video, this same video itself. This video might get longer, sorry, but I'll just explain you the code. And coming to the more efficient part of the solution, here I'm going to take two temporary arrays, naming C1 for string for string 1 and C2 for string 2. I already explained about audiences. Just go through this keyword. Just type this keyword ORD, actually lowercase ORD, and here the character. This will give us the ASCII value of that character. Just go through that once, just go through some Wikipedia pages or some blogs and all, you'll get to know. Okay, what here I'm doing is I just initializing both those strings. Okay, I hope you guys know how to convert a string into a list, right? I have actually explained it in video. Okay, I just pass these two lists. Okay, here S2 is Akash and S1 is Prakash. Okay, I'll just before pass I'll just pass it to a function check. Okay, and inside the check function I'll create two temporary arrays named C1 and C2. I'll initialize them with zeros and both of their lengths will be 26 because English alphabet has 26 or English language has 26 alphabets, right? Yeah. Then I'll just loop through every single element in S1 and I will just take the position of its character and map it on to the temporary array, that is C1 for S1 and C2 for S2. I have explained this in whiteboard, just go to the solution once there. And same for string S2 as well as C2 as well. Okay, then I just initialize a variable j to 0 just to go through the while loop, and while j is less than 26 because length of total number of alphabets is 26 and index starts from 0, that's why 0 to 25 excluding 26. If C1 of j is greater than or equal to C2 of j, then do j plus else return false. You just get this point? If not, I'll just explain you. While we are doing this question, as both of the strings get automatically sorted while using this C1 and C2, because I have explained, if the character is A, then inside the C1 array it will point to the first element. If the character is Z, it will point to the last element. Whether this string might be sorted or may not be sorted, but when you use OR and these two temporary arrays, the string will literally convert into a sorted array format. It doesn't matter anymore. So if the longer strings any particular index value is greater than or equal to the shorter strings any particular value, then we are good to go. We can just continue on to the solution, because here both two strings contain two A's in it, right? Even if I remove one A from Akash, then the total number of A's in Akash will be 1 and the total number of A's in Prakash will be 2. But still those two strings will be anagrams, because number of A's doesn't matter here, as the number of A's in the longer string is greater than the number of A's in the shorter string. That's what I am doing here. C1 is the longer array temporary array, longest string temporary array, and C2 is the shortest string temporary array. If this case matches, then just increment j by 1 and the character will go to B and it will point to B. There are no B's, so they are equal actually. Here C1 of B will be equal to C1 of 1 equal to C2 of 2. It's still valid because it is greater than or equal to. In any case, if there exists any character which is present in S2 and not in S1, that is, if it is present in the shorter string and it is not present in the longer string, then we'll just return false. If that's not the case, after all these things, we'll return true. Return true will execute only if the return false statement is not executed. If the return false statement is executed, then the control will come out of the definition or the function and just print over here. Let me just check S1 and S2. Yeah, it's true. What if I change the value? Let me make it cube. False. Did you see that? This is a more efficient way of approaching a problem. So in the next video, I'll explain you something interesting. Okay, let me not take up the part which I want to explain. You people just suggest me which video to do or which concept do you want me to teach in the next video. Just please put it in the comments. Please like this video, share this channel and subscribe to my channel. Let's give a huge round of applause to the developer community which is helping us a lot in solving these kind of questions. Thank you.